My 35 male, sister Daniela, 33 female, has serious disabilities and will never be able to live independently. Growing up, my parents forced my older brother, Henry, 42, to be a third parent and caretaker for Daniela, essentially. Then they expected that of me after Henry moved out when I was 10. I was forced to quit all my extracurriculars. I was never allowed to go anywhere or do anything outside of school hours because they'd need someone to complete chores while at the hospital with Daniela or look after Daniela while they went out to have fun. It was very common for them to say things like, "You get to see your friends every day at school. We only get to see ours 2 nights a week." They would be out until midnight most times, and I'd be taking care of Daniela on my own. I moved out the day I graduated high school. I only talk to my parents for family emergencies because any other conversation becomes me again, becoming a full-time, unpaid caregiver for Daniela. Recently, my father experienced a health scare. He's fine, but it made my parents realize that they're getting older and will not be able to take care of Daniela someday. They finally got Daniela on a waiting list for a care home, but it's obviously a very long wait, and likely my parents will either pass away or become unable to care for Daniela before it's her turn to enter the care home. My parents explained this to me and said that since I can work from home with my job, I can start taking over certain days with Daniela's care to get back into the hang of it and be ready in case I need to become her full-time caregiver. I explained that I would not work from home because it makes less money, and I want to focus on advancing my career. I also wanted free time for my hobbies and outside social life. My parents called me selfish and said that I needed to realize caring for Daniela will not leave enough time for those other things. So I told my parents I would not be caring for Daniela. I've spent my entire childhood taking care of her, and I'm done. Now other family members and acquaintances are telling me what a horrible person I am because I prioritize career advancements and hobbies over my sister. Some call me an ableist because Daniela's disability isn't fair to her or my parents. I'm essentially saying disabled people shouldn't be accommodated by refusing to help care for Daniela. I believe that disabled people all deserve to have their needs met, but at the same time, I'm not obligated to keep putting my life on hold for Daniela and my parents. I know on the outside it sounds horrible to prioritize my career and hobbies over my disabled sister. Still, I won't return to revolving my life around caring for Daniela because it'll never stop if I do. Am I the idiot? Holy crap, you're not the idiot. You gave up your childhood for your sister. You aren't giving up your adult life. Even if you provided zero care for her when you were a child, which is a crazy expectation to have of a 10-year-old to begin with, you don't have to cancel your life to take care of her. Oh, for goodness sake, you're ableist because your parents are trying to force you to care for your disabled sister and you don't want to? They've parentified you and stolen your childhood. Now they want to steal the rest of your life. Seriously, it took a health scare for them to make a plan? They're at least 60, and Daniela is 33. They've had 33 years to plan for if something happened. Exactly. His parents stole his childhood so they could grab drinks with friends. Repeat to anyone who asks, I wish I could help my sister, but my parents make that impossible due to their inability to respect my boundaries. You're welcome to volunteer to take over her care, though. It's brilliant that she has so many extended family members that feel so strongly about it because they can take over her care since they feel so passionate about it. Your parents said, you need to realize caring for Daniela will not leave enough time for those other things. Why didn't your parents follow their own advice back when they had you and your brother taking care of her when you were children? Nope, you and your brother have done more than enough. So do not let them guilt you into it. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I, 32 female, am a mother of 2 kids, a female kindergartner and a male toddler. Unfortunately, I do not get along with my family. Actually, I've been in no contact with my parents for more than 10 years. My husband, 35, grew up in the system his whole life, So when we got serious, we dreamed of having the picture-perfect family that we didn't have while growing up. I have been doing everything I can to make Christmas magical for my small family. Every room is decorated, including bathrooms, with elaborate lights and decorations on the outside. I stuff advent calendars, make cookies almost every day, and match pajamas and postcards for our friends, etc. Also, we go all out on gifts for our kids. I reconnected with my sister last year. We talked online and had a face-to-face meeting. She visited my city. She's also married with 3 kids, all under 12. Her husband is unemployed. She works retail, and they have a ton of medical debt. I guess she's been going through my social media lately, and she's seen how we celebrate Christmas in our house. Then she contacted me, and after a couple of minutes, she said that they were planning to spend Christmas with us as a gift. I said that I appreciated her gesture, but that Christmas for us is just for our small family. We don't like to include the extended family. She kept insisting that it would be fun and that my kids would absolutely love to celebrate with their cousins. My kids have never even met their cousins. I kept insisting that it would not be possible for us. Then she switched tones and started telling me that they couldn't afford Christmas for their kids and wanted the kids to have a fun holiday for once. I sympathized with her, but told her again that they wouldn't be able to spend Christmas with us. Then she asked me for some money to help with Christmas expenses, and I told her that we didn't have any extra funds this month, but that I had $100 budgeted for gifts for our family that I could send her. She asked me for more, but I turned her down. That was when she got angry with me. She said that I was a selfish witch, and that it wasn't fair that her kids wouldn't get to celebrate Christmas while I was throwing money out the window on my vanity project of a house. I hung up on her, then sent her a text. This is the exact text. I'm sorry that you and your family are struggling, but I will not be sacrificing our family traditions for your ease. I'll be sending you $100 as a gift for the kids, but neither you nor your family are welcome to our family Christmas. I will expect an apology when you cool down. Otherwise, don't bother contacting me again. I stand behind my decision not to have them celebrate with us, but still I'm feeling guilty for how I worded it. So am I the idiot for using the phrase, you nor your family are welcome to our family Christmas? Not the idiot. Not only is it rude to invite yourself and your family over, but it's also worse to insist on it after being refused. No is no. That's how you get no contact, like you just did. And the $100 is very generous. However, I wonder why her husband is unemployed. That's likely part of why they're not having a good Christmas. And many of your vanity projects for Christmas can be done fairly inexpensively, yet look pricey, especially if you do it yourself and get goods at sales and thrift stores. She doesn't know how much you spent, etc. I hope she doesn't know where you live. However, they may show up as a surprise Christmas gift. Be ready if so. She was clearly just contacting you to get a free Christmas experience for her kids. Don't get into the crab bucket. She will try to drag you down, all in the guise of her and her family's company being a gift to you. Her husband can get a job. She can have a scaled-down Christmas. This is your dream, and you and your husband deserve to make this holiday one for the 4 of you to cherish. You do not owe her your hard work. I feel like I could be in the wrong here, even if I don't understand why. To be honest, there have been incidents in the past where I've unwittingly been rude without intending to, and some social norms escape my understanding. So one of my colleagues, Harry, technically I'm his boss, not sure if that matters, came into my office today. I have an open door policy to encourage team members to come forward and share their ideas, so this wasn't that unusual. Harry came into my office and said, "I'm gay." I thought he had more to say, so I waited for him to continue. After a moment, I made a sound of consent to make it clear I heard him, but he still didn't say anything. Since he was staring at me, I assumed he was trying to convey something I didn't understand. Here's where I might have messed up. The first thing I said, my friend specifically scolded me because this was the first thing I said, was to ask if he had any insights to marketing to that demographic. We work in a marketing firm. Harry said he hadn't. I asked him if he was getting married and needed time off. This, too, I've been informed, was a stupid response. Harry said he wasn't married. I finally said that if Harry had nothing else he wanted to discuss, he should leave, as I had a meeting starting in a few minutes and needed the office. He left. Shortly afterward, a mutual friend scolded me and said I was a right idiot for the way I responded to Harry. Am I the idiot for how I responded? How can I fix this? Not the idiot. Isn't this the sort of long-term goal for someone when they come out? For it not to be a thing and just business as usual? How does this orientation add or detract any value to the workplace? Unless he was reaching out, but still, nobody cares. LMAO, like, why did he need to announce this? So random and odd. Like, did he need support? If so, then say it. LOL, no, you're fine. In the future, you can always go with something along the lines of, I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to share that with me. Can I ask, was there any specific reason you brought it up today? Has someone made you feel uncomfortable due to this? Anything I can help you with? Have I made you feel uncomfortable in any way? No idiots here. I'm bi, and honestly, this made me laugh, as it reminds me of me coming out to my autistic friend, who thought it was obvious and wondered why I was bringing it up. Honestly, poor guy. Since coming out can be stressful, he probably didn't expect this kind of outcome. But not like you said anything unkind in any way. You were clearly caught off guard and just responded as a boss. I, 45 male, have a cousin, 32 female, who I'm not close to. In fact, in the past 5 years, we texted each other once. We also come from a very small family. She and I are the last kids. Besides us, there are only 4 other people left. I'm not close to our grandfather either. I moved away when I was 20 and have seen him twice in that time and haven't seen him at all since our grandmother passed. Several years ago, my cousin married someone of a different race and had kids. I don't have a problem with any of this. And to be honest, I don't even think about her or her family. So you can say I'm indifferent to the entire thing. However, our grandfather is an idiot. He thinks it's an abomination, so he completely cut her and her family out of his will. He even cut out her mother, his daughter, because she supported the marriage. He told them what he was doing and several other things I can't put here. They haven't spoken to each other since that day. Recently, he had a health scare and had to stay in the hospital for a few weeks. My mom, his other daughter, took care of him and is working with his attorney to put things in order because of his advanced age. That was when the inheritance issue resurfaced, because he did disinherit my aunt, cousin, and that entire family. This means the only people left in his will are me, my mom, and 2 others. My cousin, aunt, and their family have been trying to rally us to stand against our grandfather, to either change his will or for us to denounce his inheritance because it's the right thing to do. The thing is, I don't want to because I need the money. I don't have to agree with his worldviews, but I have bills to pay. And with the predicted economic downturn, his money will be a safety net if I lose my job. I told my cousin all of this, and she thinks I'm an idiot. I tried telling her I was not and just cared about the money. She said if that's the case, I should stand with her to force him to change his will. I don't think it'll work out like she has it in her head. By the way, we're not talking about millions, and I will not be able to play tennis with Elon Musk at the country club. It'll be a nice safety net for several years if I lose my job and can't find a new one. Am I the idiot for choosing my inheritance? Not the idiot. Altruism here will likely get the money donated to a local Republican PAC. He may be an idiot, but getting yourself written out won't change him or help anything. Either you get the money or someone else does. I agree with this, but OP, you should split that inheritance with them after the fact. The only reason they were written out is that your grandpa was being racist, and you would be following in that lead if you continue to cut them out after you receive the inheritance. Everyone is struggling right now in this economic climate. I'm sure they need it as much as you. Legally, you're in the clear if you keep your whole share, but morally, you would be an idiot just like your grandfather is. LOL, you all are too much. People miss the important parts of this post because emotions blind them. Please allow me to bring you up to speed. The OP wrote he moved away at 20 and he's now 45. Within those 25 years, he saw his grandfather twice. Seeing someone twice in a 25-year span does not make him an enabler. Heck, I've seen my barista every morning 3 days a week for almost 3 years now, and I have zero influence over her life. How much influence do you think OP has over his grandfather? These are uncertain economic times. Nothing wrong with looking out for yourself. Also, don't split your inheritance with the disowned relatives either. I'm always amazed at people's entitlement to others' money. Grandpa can do what he wants with his money. Grab the cash. Principals don't pay bills. You don't need to agree with him just by getting the money. When he's gone, he's gone. Trying to force Grandpa to change his will ain't gonna work. My mother-in-law has never liked me, and we have real clashing personalities. My husband does have a spine and he does stand up for me, but we've come to realize that he does need her in his life. So all three of us have come up with some compromises and boundaries. Mother-in-law has PTSD, and for most of the time I knew her, she repressed it. But she recently had another traumatic event and is now struggling. She's very codependent and has a hard time being around us without her husband. So I made a rule that she can bring one of her comfort animals. Honestly, I'm a neat freak and not a huge animal person, but mother-in-law can emotionally regulate better and resist the urge to bully me if she has a pet. Well, mother-in-law came over the other day and brought a goat. I didn't open the door for her or I would have stopped her, but she let this goat through my house. She smirked in triumph, but I immediately told her to get that goat out. Mother-in-law said, "But it's her comfort goat." I snapped at her that her jokes aren't funny and asked if she enjoys being a burden to her son. She clapped back that she would leave with her goat if she was a burden. I told her to go, but my dad wanted to pet the goat, so mother-in-law ignored me and brought it over. I began shrieking at her and telling her to get out. I feel a little bad because I think I scared the goat. I ran to the door as she was leaving and told her never to come back. My husband texted her to rip her a new one, and mother-in-law said that I said comfort animal and never specified. Then her husband posted a passive-aggressive social media post with the goat and said, "Who wouldn't love this face?" Well, actually someone today. Ignore the witches, Owen, the goat's name. My parents thought I overreacted, but she has a long history of pushing my buttons for her entertainment. Am I the idiot? I never imagined I would get to weigh in on the validity of an emotional support goat. I imagined mother-in-law with an evil cackle as she decides to load a goat into her car. Did she put down blankets? Did it try to eat the upholstery? Anyone who's been around a goat knows Owen didn't just sit there sweetly and enjoy the ride. I bet she cackled the whole freaking ride to your house as Owen absolutely wrecked her vehicle, all in an effort to make her daughter-in-law angry. Holy crap, that is some crazy, methodical, evil genius stuff right there. OP, you are absolutely not the idiot here. You will laugh about this one day. Cut that crazy woman out of your life. Emotional support goat is an absolutely surreal sentence to read. Reading that your dad wanted to pet it sent me into oblivion. She seems like the type of person who creates drama and trauma everywhere she goes, then claims PTSD because she's always in dramatic/traumatic situations. Really, I'd suspect she's more likely a wounded narcissist, meaning she lacks any empathy, but expects endless amounts from others, as she's the most victimized victim in history. OP, she did it on purpose to make you off angry, while also making a mockery of support animals. You are not the idiot, but you also need some strategies beyond completely losing your crap. That rage just feeds her egocentric drive to disrupt. Like with the coldest smile say, "Obviously your goat is welcome. I'll put a chair outside so you can stay with him. Ring the doorbell if you need the bathroom or whatever."